and welcome to our virtual tea party here at the Sault Ste. Marie Museum. We're so glad that you could join us. So today we will be enjoying our mint tea, which you will find in your tea kit. There are also lavender, rosehip, and chai tea as well. So now that we are ready with our tea, let us introduce ourselves if you don't already know who we are. So we'll start.
Hi, I'm Mari, and I'm the Sault Museum's Visitor Engagement Assistant.
Hello, I'm Nicole Curry, and I am the Collections Management Assistant.
Hi, I'm Ripley, and I'm the Sault Museum's Visitor Services Coordinator.
And I'm Nick. I'm the Education Officer here at the Sault Ste. Marie Museum.
All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the tea that we are drinking today. So we have mint tea. Mint helps calm the digestive system, reduce nausea and vomiting, release pain from coughing, sinus congestion, and most importantly, it helps with headaches as well. So all these teas that you will find in your kit today all have different medicinal properties. So that was the mint tea. We also have our rosehip and hibiscus tea. Now rosehips are rich in vitamin A, B, E, K, and a very good source of vitamin C. It is said that 1 orange equals 3 rosehips. They're very potent and they were used by Europeans to treat scurvy. Then we also have our lavender and pomegranate tea. Now, lavender helps to relieve insomnia, reduce tension, depression. It also helps to cure headaches. It settles indigestion and minor nervous ailments and stress as well. And another interesting bit is this is a piece of pressed tea. Now, tea, when they were transporting it from China and India and sending it off to England and then from England to North America, the loose tea was very hard to transport because it was so bulky. So they would compress it into large bricks, and then each brick would have little squares that you could cut out, and then you would just shave a little bit of the tea off at a time for making your tea. So it was very good for soldiers and travelers as they're traveling through the wilderness in North America.
That's awesome.
So while we are enjoying our tea here, we're going to be talking about a few interesting facts about tea. So we have them all written down in this bowl here, and we'll be picking them out as we go to talk about them. So whoever wants to start?
I'll give it a go. It's standard practice for tea purists to swish some hot water in a cup or pot and then brew the tea. This is to keep the water temperature from dropping when it hits the surface of the vessel. Tea pragmatists, though, of course, could care less. So, although it is a good idea to boil the water, since tap water can sometimes have a chemical taste. So, depending on what you think of the tap water, perhaps it's better to always boil it.
I'll go next. Afternoon tea should never be confused with high tea, which, despite the name, is actually a traditional laborer's supper served early in the evening, featuring the kind of starchy, hearty fare needed after hours of manual work. Typical high tea fare includes Welsh rarebit, Cornish pasties, which is filled with meat and vegetables, hot cross buns, and sweet baked goods such as shortbreads or cakes.
Didn't know that.
Me neither. Okay, I guess teas were so popular because they were simple to prepare. You can even make them in the bush.
So going off of that comment, You can also make tea from the needles of spruce and jack pine or eastern white pine, so the two different kinds of pine that we have here. And that needle tea was high in vitamin A and C, so it was often used to treat scurvy here. So the indigenous would often make tea from this in the winter months so that they wouldn't suffer from vitamin C deficiency.
Very cool. Awesome.
Give it another shot here. Before the 20th century, boiled beverages, such as tea, were preferred because it was cleaner and tastier than water. And that is true, definitely. And with the assortment of different, flavors and variety, I think there's something for everybody.
Of course, all the different types of tea and all the properties and like the benefits of all different kinds. In the mid-1900s, drinking hot tea became stereotyped as fussy and feminine, and only to be sipped by wealthy women at their fancy tea parties, and of course, children's tea parties. Wow.
So you weren't the only one here.
Apparently not. Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty fancy right now.
Okay.
Takes up, yeah, one more. A couple more, actually.
Tea first arrived in Canada in 1716. It has become a staple ever since. Unlike the United States, where coffee, soft drinks, beer, wine, and bottled water dominate.
Must be some of the British kind of influence maybe in Canada. But yeah, definitely it seems like coffee, I would say, in the States, as an American, is maybe a bit more popular as a hot beverage, but in Canada, I find a lot of people drink tea. But
So a few other medicinal teas that you can have are sweetgrass tea. Now, sweetgrass tea, you boil the grass and it makes a nice sweet tea, so you often don't actually have to add any sugar. It treats coughs, sore throats, fevers, and sharp internal pains. And I have tried it myself and it is very tasty. And sweetgrass itself smells wonderful. So here we have some sweetgrass that you can look at. Oftentimes, when the indigenous people harvest the sweetgrass, they cut off the long grass and then they boil it, and then once the grass becomes soft and malleable, they then make it into braids so that they can then use the braids for smudging and also use them for decorating around the house, so it leaves a nice sweet smell around the house.
very interesting. Shall I have
We have one more round of facts to
one
go
more
over.
round? Okay, this is for everyone at home here. A good rule of thumb is 1 cup of water for each tea bag or 1 teaspoon of loose leaf. So when making iced tea though, use twice as many leaves since the melting ice will significantly dilute the tea. Which, we've had like a super hot summer, I feel like, this year. So iced tea sounds actually like so keep that one in the memory bank, because you don't want to dilute the tea, obviously.
Today we refer to tea as any drink created with steeping leaves, herbs, and flowers in hot water, though traditionally they come from the tea plant or Camellia sinensis in China and the Camellia assamica from India. There are 4 types of tea: black, white, green, and oolong. They come from the same plant but are processed differently.
Last one. We have kept the tradition of afternoon tea, which is traditionally served at 3 p.m.
And so we will actually be releasing this video at 3 p.m. So while you're watching it right now, you are having your afternoon tea at the proper time. So the last tea that we have here, the herbal teas, is raspberry leaf tea. Now this tea was used during pregnancy and childbirth to prevent miscarriages as well as reduce labor pains, and also it is used to help menstrual pain as well.
Very cool.
So we would like to thank you for joining us for our afternoon tea, and we hope to have another tea and share this event with you again, and hopefully maybe even in person. So thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheerio.